Good evening, fans, and welcome to Taylor University. I ask the parents of all Taylor men's soccer seniors to report to the bench. All Taylor men's soccer senior parents, please report to the bench. Thank you. Good evening, fans, and welcome to Taylor University and Taylor Stadium for tonight's senior night contest between the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats and your Taylor Trojans. Our first senior this evening is Gabe Bauer. Senior midfielder has earned 2 starts for the Trojans in 2020 after being called up from JV towards the end of the 2019 campaign. After graduation, Gabe plans to pursue a market analyst role with a nonprofit company that serves to aid the development of impoverished children as well as save children from the sex trafficking industry. Let's give a big round of applause to Gabe. And has been an integral part of the team men's soccer program throughout his tenure in the purple and gold. After graduation, Dayhoff plans on marrying his fiancée, Taylor. His professional career. Let's give a big round of applause for Tyler Dayhoff. Our next senior is Alex Gallup. Jenny is a finance major and looks to return to the Chillicothe area upon graduation. Alex has started in 37 matches for the Trojans over the past few years, was an integral part of the 2018 team that finished in a tie for third in the Crossroads League standings while advancing to the Crossroads League semifinal. After graduation, Gallup will be getting married to his fiancée Campbell in July. Alex Gallup. He's joined today by his parents, Jonathan and Andrew. An extremely hard worker, Gilliam has been a versatile player for the Trojans, earning starts in over 30 matches over the past 3 seasons. He has played as a striker, as well as a center back and winger for the Purple and Gold. After graduation, Gilliam plans to pursue a career in politics. Give it up for Paul Gilliam. Our next senior is Joaquin Chino Hansen. And this year, Hansen's made 4 starts in goal, making 26 saves. Moving back to Philly, where he will start working as an engineer or attend grad school. Ladies and gentlemen, Joaquin Chino Hansen. Up next, Jack McNeil. Goal in the Trojans' last game against Maryland. After graduation, McNeil plans to become an airline pilot. Our next senior is Noah Rodman. Saving money to start his own business. Give it up for Noah Rodman. And our final 2020 TU men's soccer senior, Adam Siegling. Adam's a finance major and son of Siegling, based right here in Upland, Indiana. Siegling's 2 goals for the junior campaign, including game winner versus Goshen, and has played in a total of 28 matches for the Trojans. Adam plans on getting married in February to his fiancée, Andrew. Give it up, Adam Siegling. Let's give it up one more time for your Trojan seniors.
But it's not like you guys have been run out of the joint. You guys have been really, really close, and you've dominated possession for the majority of your matches. What is it going to take to get that first win of the year for the guys?
Well, I think it takes maybe something going our way, something ball bouncing our way. But you kind of make your own luck, right? So we've done a great job of keeping the ball. It's literally the main thing we've been focusing on since the first day they showed up. So I think in 3 of our first 4 games, we've outpossessed other teams on average about 65% to 35, which is it's what we're going for. Now it's just a matter of getting our guys to be a little more attack-minded in the places where they need to. And this we got 5 freshmen starting pretty much every game, potentially 6 would have been tonight. So at the end of it, it's like we got some young guys who have not played college soccer before. They're good players, but we've just not had that first W yet. So yeah, we're gonna need to just keep working hard, man. Sticking to what we're doing and keep going.
One of those young guys, he didn't score on Wednesday, but he showed some flashes of how special he can be in Brian Matipa.
Yep.
The Marion defense just kept backpedaling. He said, I'm going to grip a couple of my left foot. He was just inches away from tying the match at 2.
Yep.
What's it like to have a guy like that up top that can be so dynamic and get a shot off whenever he wants, with a lot of pace to it too, by the way?
Yeah, well, it's what we saw when he first, he was a guy that came to our camps in the summer with Cornerstone Christian. And we saw that in him when he was a player there. I remember seeing him hit a shot from about the 30-yard line here, upper 90. It's like, dang, that's pretty good.
I could use him on my team, right?
That'd be nice if it was for us, So yeah, I mean, it's anytime you have a guy that can make a play like that out of nowhere, it's a difference maker, and it's the kind of stuff that helps you win games. So he'll be in the lineup tonight. We'll see how things go, but yeah, certainly he's pretty dynamic, man.
How do you think Joaquin Hansen's done in the goal, stepping in for the graduated Luke Williams?
Yeah, tough shoes to fill, but Chino's a much different kind of keeper, but he's very, very good. He's very good with his feet. He knows the game really well. We're putting him in a little bit of a tough spot, and we've he's filling in for Luke. Not only that, but we're also going one less man in the back, right? So it's a little more of an aggressive, attack-minded thing. We knew some goals would come this year because we're doing that, but we're going to stick with it. We're going to continue to improve on possession, continue to score goals, and hopefully the results will start going our way.
Obviously a little bit different having senior night be so early, but with the uncertainty with everything can change at a moment's notice, there's no reason to – there's obviously probably the smart thing to do, really. Yeah. What has the senior class meant to you as the head coach here at Taylor?
Well, look, I mean, these guys have had these guys have been part of the sort of the transition with our JV program as well. So it's actually not been an easy time for them because we have had a lot of flux in their time here. I think overall they've adapted fairly well, and you see a lot of guys who started here as young players didn't play a whole lot. We actually had to have them play on the JV squad, which means they didn't get a lot of minutes their freshman year. So that's they're kind of behind the 8 ball to begin with, right? So I think their response to that has been good, and we got I think 4 or 5 of them starting tonight. I think 5 of them starting tonight. So, I mean, anytime you have guys who've been around for a while, when you lose them, it's not easy because, they understand. They have the expectations sort of internally in them already, and they know what we want from them. And so, when you lose those guys, you got to train the younger ones to kind of come in and sort themselves out. So, anytime you got older, mature players, man, it's tough to lose them.
Gary, thanks for your time. Best of luck tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
Good evening and welcome here to a jam-packed Turner Stadium with plenty of juice and plenty of fun in store for you tonight. It's senior night for the Taylor men's soccer team. We hope you enjoyed tonight's senior night festivities. For the Taylor men's soccer program, a fine group of young men as the Trojans in search of their first win of the year. We have got standing room only here down and around us tonight. And we are underway. The kickoff is kicked, and away we go here from Turner Stadium. Indiana Wesleyan playing just their second match of the season, just their second match since September 12th, when they defeated a very talented Rio Grande club 2-0 at their field, Wildcat Field on their campus, just about 20 minutes away from us where we currently sit. The Trojans 0-4 on the year after a 5-1 setback here against Marion on Wednesday night. Indiana Wesleyan in red with white numbers trimmed in gray. Jackson Hoosier whistled for the first foul of the night as the Wildcats move from right to left in red. The Trojans in white with purple pinstripes and purple numbers. Zach Hargraves will take this free kick from the near side of the field. A curling one into the box, still bouncing through, still dangerous. Flicked away by Matt Harold of Taylor. And then to the near side, it's played as Bowron lays it on back to McNeil. Up to the always dangerous Brian Matipa. Matipa plays it off of Hargraves, and it's going in Taylor's favor. The Taylor students down below us like that. A throw in deep by McNeil, the goal scorer for Taylor on Wednesday. But it's played back in deep, and Indiana Wesleyan will take it out of their defensive half. Their keeper tonight, Nathan Sherritt, 5'11 junior out of Mint Hill, North Carolina, had 6 saves in that win against Rio Grande. And then a foul behind the play. Now they're actually going to get Cole Gilliam for a yellow card, I think, or just a discussion with our head official. So Cole will get a warning, one of the 3 captains for the Trojans this year. And it'll be a free kick from way in the back for Indiana Wesleyan in their defensive half. This one will bounce all the way to Joaquin Hansen, senior out of Chile. Had 7 saves in that loss to Marion on Wednesday. Harold takes this here, trying to circle back over his right shoulder, being pushed by Ibrahim. And it'll go out of bounds off of Indiana Wesleyan, and the Trojans will have a throw in down below us. They go from left to right in white. Taylor scored 3 goals on the year in their previous 4 matches. And then Bowron called for a foul from behind as he pushed down the 6-foot Jeremy Valdez. So 3 early fouls against the Trojans. As everyone laughs, the man operating the Vuvuzela didn't have enough oxygen to get a rousing sound, and now he's good to go. Harold steps in front of pass intended for Hargraves, trying to find Matipa. This one nicely read by Wes Williams. Matipa had it, and now the clock will stop, and now a warning will come for Wes Williams. And that sends the Taylor students down below us, getting them rowdy. They've been rowdy since they got here. And so a free kick from 4 yards inside midfield by Jackson Hoosier. Bends it all the way to the far side of the field, headed away by Indiana Wesleyan. And now the Wildcats will try to take it out of the defensive half once again. Still no shots recorded. This one flicked on here. Hansen well off of his line, comes almost 10 yards outside the box and kicks that one away from trouble. Indiana Wesleyan led by first-year head coach Matt Reeb. Taylor, of course, led by 17th-year head man Gary Ross. Long pass to the near side, and Valdez back to the middle, trying to fill the spot. It was cleared away by Harold, but Indiana Wesleyan able to hold it in down below us. They dribble forward with Duran, and then back again to Ibrahim. Hargraves cuts this one down, moving forward. He wants a long-range shot, and that one stopped by Hansen. First one of the night for Hansen. Hargraves, that's his first shot of the year, the 6-foot junior out of Manchester, England. And then a foul behind the play as Gallup had his legs taken out from underneath him. So just not even 5 minutes into this first half, we've got 5 fouls between the two clubs. McNeil lays it on back to Hansen, who was a field player a season ago, so very good with the ball at his feet. Gallup will right foot this one deep over Gilliam's head. Melly trying to get there. He and Gilliam collide, and Indiana Wesleyan keeps the ball in their possession. Partain trying to take it away from Ibrahim. Matipa trying to spin away, and it pops free, and here's Webby Peary. His brother on the roster for Indiana Wesleyan. That'd be Richard Peary, a year older than Webby. Gallup to the midline and Partain, his fellow captain, will get it back here. Partain, pressure comes from behind, will right foot a pass to the middle and the center circle and Harold. And now Taylor will set things up from the defensive end. Near side McNeil, fancy footwork as he eludes Valdez. Up the near side to Matipa, taken away from him by Williams, kicks it out and Bowron will throw it in for TU. Matipa tried to dump it back to Bowron. He and Matipa collide, and then falling down to the turf is Valdez. 4th foul against Taylor here in the early going. Taylor trying to hold it in on the far side of the field. Less than 6 minutes in, Hargraves takes a spill and another foul against the Trojans, who have come out very aggressive here in the early going. 5 fouls already against the home team. Long pass to the near side of the field, trying to slip behind McNeil is Valdez. Valdez back to a trailer. Matipa with a nice play. Able to keep the ball at his feet, though, is Duran. Hargraves back to Duran. A little move to his left as he's just on the outside of the box. Plays it back to Hargraves. Has one long shot tonight. Trying to send this one in. It's wide. Punched away and then controlled by Hansen. Taylor from left to right in white here in the opening half. As Partain leaves it on back to Peary. Peary to the near side of the field in McNeil. Maneuvering to his right. Will send one deep, too far for Matipa to get to initially. And then Sherritt comes off of his line. Will play it back into the box and scoop it up with 2 hands. And then a foul against the Trojans and Matt Harold. Taylor with 6 fouls here, almost a little over 6 minutes in. Matipa tried to find Murphy, who's playing in his 2nd match of his career. Peary to the far side, too far for Partain to get to. This one goes out, and Indiana Wesleyan gets the possession back. Good challenge by Bowron. Peary, eyes up. Will punch it forward to the very dynamic Quinn Partain. Partain marked by Nakame. Then Partain throws it off of the Iwu player after some extracurricular activities. Harold holding on to the uniform, able to break free is Indiana Wesleyan. Valdez sliding, stopped by McNeil, and that gets a rousing ovation from the students down below us. Bowron sends it in deep. Gilliam trying to get there. He's shoved down in the box as he's trying to pursue the ball. And a play on is called here. Every positive movement by the Trojans is met with resounding applause down below us. Right on cue. Thank you, Jack McNeil. Iwu retreats to their defensive end. They go from right to left in red. Had a couple of conference matches get postponed over the last couple of weeks. That's why they haven't played in 2 weeks' time. McNeil to Bowron, trying to flick it back here, but right there to step in front of his pass is Isaiah Klein. Gilliam fighting for position, trying to take it away in favor of the Trojans, but it will be Lucas Melly maneuvering the ball to the far side of the field. Melly looking long, will skip it off the ground up to Hargraves. Hargraves sending a long ball up the far side of the field. Binker trying to outrace Gallup, but the ball will beat both of them to the end line. And this will allow Joaquin Hansen to have his first goal kick of the night. Gilliam trying to knife his way in, but a dangerous kick here against Indiana Wesleyan might set up an indirect free kick for the Trojans across from us. Gilliam jumped in, and then the kick came high, almost near his face. And we'll see if it's a true free kick or an indirect free kick. I think it's going to be just a free kick since it was outside of the penalty area. Fourth foul against Indiana Wesleyan here tonight. Matipa and Partain talking things over across from us. This one will come, let's call it 25 yards outside. Four-man wall for Indiana Wesleyan. They're going to move 5 yards back. A rowdy bunch of Taylor students down below us. Some sans shirts. That could be cold when we get towards the evening hour. Partain, it is an indirect free kick. Matipa has it blocked by the wall. He'll flick it on, trying to move it forward, and then Ibrahim will rocket one out of there with a right foot. Ball played over the head of a player, and then Hoosier will just flick it forward. Murphy trying to track it down. It's Ibrahim back in the center circle for Indiana Wesleyan. Duran pushed from behind, and a foul called against the Trojans, number 5 against the home team. 11.5 minutes into half number 1, no score. 1 shot for the Trojans and 3 for Indiana Wesleyan. All 4 shots combined have been on goal. Here comes Owen Hardy right now. So Hardy is summoned. Had been playing with a brace on his knee for the last couple of weeks. That is absent tonight. Matipa exits. It's a nice ovation from the Taylor faithful down below us. Throw in by Gallup, one of the 8 seniors honored by the Trojans pre-match tonight. Ibrahim finds some space in the middle. Duran, here comes Hardy, pushing him off his path, and now Duran resets. Will flick one into space near side, trying to get onto it is Valdez. Shoved out of the way by Jackson Hoosier, and then as he was out of bounds, Duran touched the ball, and it's a goal kick upcoming for Joaquin Hansen as Hoosier ushered Valdez out of the way. And Hansen will play it calmly to the near side of the field in Jackson Hoosier. Slide and kicking out of play is Valdez. McNeil, who scored his first collegiate goal Wednesday here against Marion, throws it in at the end of his bench down below us and to the left. And now Gallup on the far side of the field. We've got folks sitting in the beds of trucks back to our left watching the proceedings, and some folks sitting on blankets outside the fence of the Turner Stadium complex. Partain dribbling forward left side. Try to flick it on forward to Gilliam. And it's kicked out of play by Indiana Wesleyan. It'll be a throw-in for the freshman Braden Murphy. Gallup to Murphy. Back to the defensive end. Pressure comes, and a Hoosier with a man on his back spinning with Hargraves there will have to play it back into the penalty area. And Hansen, long pass, chested down by Gallup across from us. A right-footed pass back into the box, inside the 6-yard box. And it's Hansen with plenty of room to operate here. Wanted to go to his right now, switches position, and goes back to the left. Big right foot forward. Gilliam flicking it on. Partain inside position. He's tangled up and taken down. And I thought there was going to be a whistle, and now it's headed away, still loose in the box, trying to help people down. Then Sherritt was taken down by his own man. Partain couldn't get there. Our head official had the whistle in his mouth, and now Partain will get a yellow card across from us. As down holding his lower leg looks to be Melly, rolling back and forth, trying to get his bearings. It initially looked like the play was going to be stopped, and then the play continued into the penalty area with Partain barreling down on the goal. There's be no way any of the players could hear that initial whistle. Then it was swallowed, and they played to the far side. Partain took out Melly, and Quinn gets a yellow card. With 30 minutes remaining here in the first half. Melly looks to be okay. He's back to his feet and drives one forward. Flicked by the head of Basara. And now operates on the right side of the field. Nice pass in. Looks like Hargraves trying to center this one. Knocked down, still loose, and then Hansen makes a save with his left hand. His right hand was pinned on the ground. Hansen just needed his left. And Joaquin keeps it at 0-0. Great little two-man game on the right side of the field by Indiana Wesleyan. Now a nice pass to Gilliam. Trying to get the inside edge. He'll from the end line. His cross is blocked as hustling back and getting in the way is Lucas Melly. Here's the first corner of the night for the Trojans. They had 12 of them on Wednesday against Marion, scoring on one from this very side of the field with this very man who sent it in. It was Quinn Partain, and Jack McNeil jogs towards the left edge of the box, trying to get in position like he was just a few nights ago. We are scoreless, 28-40 and counting here in the first half. A low one, bounced up towards the back post, and McNeil, did he do it again? It's loose on the end line, trying to push it into the Trojans, and then there's all kinds of bodies everywhere. Gallup tried to play it in. There was an Iowa defender on the ground, and then throwing the ball off the outside of the goal is the keeper, Sherritt, in frustration. That easily could have been a handball inside the box, and now the clock will stop as our two officials will talk. Gallup just kept kicking the ball and trying to get it up and over the Iowa defender who was on the ground. The discussion is probably if this is a handball against Indiana Wesleyan. If it is, it would be a PK for the home team. Clock stops at 28-17. There is all types of commotion going on down below us. And they will rule it will be a corner. Gallup unhappy inside the penalty area. And now the boos rain down from the students down below us. So Partain with that fantastic left foot, a high in-swinger to the back post, running in is McNeil, tapped around, and Sherritt will snag it out of the air before any more trouble could come. Quick run out on the far side of the field for Indiana Wesleyan. Melly to the center circle and Hargraves. And the ball sent back to the near side and Isaiah Klein. Good challenge by Bowron. He and Klein tangled up with the arms. The Taylor bench looking for a foul, but then Bowron comes free. Klein holding his left hand. He's hurt behind the play. Middle of the field, Gilliam. Iowa will clear it away. And now they will go to work on Klein's left hand. A foul by Indiana Wesleyan's Basara. The fifth one against Indiana Wesleyan. But it looks like they've got that finger put back into place. Klein came off right to head athletic trainer Joe Walter. Got his arm, Klein had his hand tangled up with Bowron. And then just judging by the reaction down below us with the students, his hand must have really gotten tangled up with Gabe Bowron. Clock stops at 27-29 here in the opening half as they inspect the left hand of Isaiah Klein. 5'11 senior out of St. Louis, Missouri. He's okay. They're mending that left hand. They've got some tape on it, and he jogs back into a rousing ovation from the Taylor students that'll fill the bleachers tonight. There are so many students down below us, right in front of where we are standing in our broadcast position and right in front of our crowd mic. It is hard to hear the whistles. It is hard to hear really anything that's going on the field. But the one thing you know is if a call goes for or against Taylor, that's the one thing we're sure about because we just judge by what the students do. Partain plays this one short, left foot backside. Was it flicked by Indiana Wesleyan? No, it missed the head of one of the Wildcat defenders. It goes out across the end line, and Sherritt will have a goal kick. Gilliam applies pressure on Sherritt, who rockets one away from trouble. Gallup goes up and over the man in front, and it went off of Indiana Wesleyan, and Taylor will have a throw-in. Good move and good work by Alex Gallup. Gallup will curl one from the far sideline to the near side of the field, and Jack McNeil. No score, 26:47 remaining here in the first half. Taylor with 7 shots, 4 on frame. Indiana Wesleyan 4 shots, and all 4 have been on the frame tonight. Long pass through everybody, and nobody home except Joaquin Hansen. So easy work for Joaquin. And so Klein's got those 2 left fingers taped together. Hardy ushered off of his feet aggressively, and a foul called against Indiana Wesleyan. Owen's younger sister AC and the Taylor women's soccer team taking on Indiana Wesleyan. I will try to provide scores as much as possible. Here comes James McBride in for TU. He'll replace Quinn Partain. Second sub of the night for the home team. Trying to spin away is Gilliam. Collides with Ibrahim. Slide by Gilliam. They get tangled up. Jumping on top of it's Harold. Maneuvering to his left. His left-footed shot right to the stomach of Sherritt. Fourth save of the night for Sherritt, who's got the ball at his feet here with Gilliam applying light pressure. Peary trying to hold it in. Wanted to poke it along to the far side, and James McBride couldn't get there. Far edge of the circle, rotating back, and a nice pass from Hargraves intended for Duran. Duran hits the brakes, almost blew a tire. Bowron comes and pokes away from behind, held in by Indiana Wesleyan in their attacking half. First time they've been on this side of the field in a while. Hargraves, long pass to the near side, and Valdez to the middle, stepping through and pushing it forward is the big fella Jackson Hoosier. Hoosier using his size, speed, and strength to muscle the IWU player out of the way and keep it moving back towards Taylor's offensive end. Murphy rotating and plays it on back to Harold. McNeil on the near side of the field for TU. Valdez marking up to Hoosier. And then Hoosier sweeps the leg out from Klein, and a foul is whistled against TU. Foul number 5 against the Trojans tonight, 5 against Indiana Wesleyan. Melly. Near side and Williams. Ibrahim, and then back to Melly. Melly sends it in. Good header away by the Trojan back line. That looked to be Hoosier, or no, make it Harold, excuse me. And then Bowron tugged upon. Peary got it, and so play on his whistle. James McBride hits the brakes. And then Peary back to the defensive half, and Jackson Hoosier. Near side of the field, McNeil, 23-23 remaining in the first half. Bowron moves to his left and then plays it back across midfield. Harold tried to connect with McNeil up the near side. It was cut off by Hardy, then taken away by the Indiana Wesleyan defense led by Williams. Ibrahim, big right-footed pass, dances across midfield. Now Iowa will turn and head up. Binkard. Back to Lucas Melly. Melly and Williams. And then up to Duran. Left footing one towards the far side. Gallup trying to beat Hargraves there, but the ball will beat both men there. Gallup pushed from behind, and a goal kick upcoming for Joaquin Hansen. But not before. Garrett Troop comes in for Indiana Wesleyan. He replaces Isaiah Klein, who got his hand tangled up. We'll see if he wants any further medical attention here. Looks to be okay. He looks to be fine. Just has got his middle and his ring finger on his left hand taped together. Gallup trying to connect with his classmate Gilliam. The two seniors could not find each other. High jump from Hardy. Could not keep it moving in Taylor's favor. Good pressure by Harold and got the ball back up to Owen Hardy. Circling in the center circle, right edge of the Trojan logo at center field. Peary to Gallup. No score, 21-50 and counting here in the first half as Clay Vanderkolk gets ready to make his first appearance of the season. McNeil. Nice tap back in by Bowron. Flag was in the air, ball went out of play before Bowron could knock it back to where it came from. Quick throw in by Nakamae. Bauer almost took it away. And Nakamae plays it back. Trying to work it to the middle. Slide tackle from behind on Hardy. It's clean as Hardy pops back to his feet, split the legs of Ibrahim. And now Hardy dances away here. He's tangled up with Ibrahim. Bauer with a back heel click to no one in particular. It's turned over as Hargraves screams something to his teammates as they turn it over. Here's Cole Gilliam. Peary pressing from the middle. Peary eyeing a long shot if he can let one go. Instead works it along to the far corner, and James McBride. Almost to the end line is James, working back up to his right, up the far sideline. Now re-engaged, trying to get to the end line. Wanted to cross, lost it out of play. And it's a goal kick for Sheridan, Indiana Wesleyan. And here comes Clay Vanderkolk in his first appearance of the year. He replaces Bowron, who gets a rousing ovation from his mates down below us. And it's always good as one of the Taylor soccer match. It's a foul called against Duran, or maybe a handball as that ball popped up. It's always good when the Taylor students start spelling. So their hard work in the classroom paying off. Here's Hoosier, who's got a big leg, getting some guidance from assistant coach Jude Johansson. As now they move a couple more Taylor players into maybe a better attacking position just outside the box. No score, 19:43 and counting. This one sent on. Sherritt tracking, elevates in the air and snags it just over the top of the head of the bouncing blonde hair of Clay Vanderkolk. Here comes Wes Williams out of his defensive end for Indiana Wesleyan. Giuseppe Santa Croce ready to come in for Indiana Wesleyan at the next opportunity. And will that be here? It will be. He's out of London, England, 5'6" freshman, had a goal in a reserve role 2 weeks ago against Rio Grande. And now he'll move some people around. As Santa Croce will come in, he'll spell Basara. And they'll move Jeremy Valdez to the center forward spot, it looks like. Nakamae throws it in near side to Hargraves, trying to accelerate around Hardy, who slipped. Vanderkolk comes in, helps his buddy out, and here come the Trojans on a counter. Hardy, near side to James McBride, who entered during the last stoppage in time. McBride tied up, taken down, and it's out of play off of Melly as he grabbed McBride around the shoulders. Trying to get that position back. Less than 18.5 minutes separating us from halftime. Taylor with 9 shots. 6 of them on goal. Indiana Wesleyan still with 4. All 4 have been on goal. Throw in here, almost turned over. Vanderkolk came in. McBride comes out of the scrum with it. Turns and sends one to the back post. There's James McBride, a header, but the only one there was Lucas Melly for Indiana Wesleyan. Ibrahim has it taken away by Perry. Hardy tees one up, and he burns the worm as that one sent to the far side wide. Hardy's eyes got huge as he saw the ball bounce to his feet with no one within 6 yards of him. Just burned it to the far side, and Iowa will take it out of the defensive end on the goal kick from Sherritt. Big, long pass from Indiana Wesleyan. Trying to save it back in was Valdez. Little dink by Jay McBride to Murphy. Back into space, a dangerous pass, but then stepping in front were the Trojans as Hoosier will set things up from the defensive end. McBride, this is Paul. Couldn't get there on a long pass by the Trojans as we sit scoreless here in the first half. Almost 17 minutes left of a high-intensity, high-action first half of play. Nakama off to Santa Croce. And now McNeil sidesteps the Englishman. Nice pass up to Paul McBride. Wants to spin over that left shoulder. They keep backing up on McBride. Near side to Vanderkolk. First match of the year for 13 in white. Vanderkolk trying to get fancy with the footwork. Ball didn't roll out of bounds. And then he gets tied up with Nakamae. Clay unhappy with the call. His fellow Taylor students agree with him down below us. These students are having way too much fun down here tonight. Letting off a little steam on a beautiful Saturday night as we close the month of September. October will be here next week. Can't believe that. So we close our first full month, our first month of athletics back at Taylor University. It's been so good to have sports back here on the TU campus and have students back and just have vibrancy and life back here in Upland. Harold curls it in. Cutting in was Paul McBride. The ball played back to where he came from. Murphy couldn't play it down for Taylor. Now it's going to be an opportunity to come out of the defensive end for Indiana Wesleyan with Jonas Duran. Back to Sherritt, the keeper. And he'll push it forward to Melly. Ibrahim. Far side. Santa Croce couldn't keep it moving forward. Then Taylor just bombs a long ball up the far side. Paul McBride applying pressure against Melly. Then Paul looks like he might have gotten hit in the face. Holding his jersey to his mouth, it looks like. The ball went out across the end line, and Indiana Wesleyan will set things up with Sherritt, their keeper. Wes Williams moving forward. Good way to fight through the challenge was Valdez, but then Peary came in and took it away from him. Santa Croce, long pass, trying to find Garrett Troop on a run. Step for step right with him is James McBride of Taylor. Troop wanted to turn over that left shoulder. It's Binkard. Moving to the middle, long shot, and Hansen's right there to scoop it off the turf. Fourth save of the night for Joaquin Hansen. Sherritt on the other end has had 5 for Indiana Wesleyan. 14:23 remaining here in half number 1. McNeil to Harold. Played it behind Hardy, who turned and played it back. Then the pass too far from Vanderkolk. Hardy unhappy with himself there, knowing it was an easier pass, and he'd like to have that one back to Vanderkolk. Hargraves, good-looking pass to Santa Croce in the center circle, but he turns it over. Intercepted by James McBride of Taylor. Harold looking to the near side, passing to his right. Good hustle to get back on top of it. Intercept is Duran. Hargraves with a stop and start move, gets it back from Duran with a head of steam on the left edge of the circle. Santa Croce dribbling to the middle, pass back near side. Duran open for a shot, taken, diving, and underneath the dive attempt of Joaquin Hansen, it's Jonas Duran getting his first goal of the season, and with 13:42 left to go in the first half, Iwu strikes first. First shot of the night for Duran. And the sixth shot of the night for Indiana Wesleyan. Tough one for the Trojans to take there as Hansen guessed right. The ball just bounced underneath his armpit and ended up in the back of the goal. Read it perfectly, just didn't get down on the ground in enough time. And Iowa ahead 1-0 here. after Taylor had dominated the possession for the majority of this first half. Paul McBride pushed out. Last touched by Indiana Wesleyan to the disagreeance of the IWU bench down below us. McNeil to Paul McBride, pushed off by Ibrahim, and then McBride got too physical coming back, and Taylor's whistled for their 6th foul tonight. Santa Croce gets the assist for Indiana Wesleyan, his first helper of the year. Less than 13 minutes from halftime, a 1-0 lead for Indiana Wesleyan in just their second match of the year after a couple of different cancellations, or postponements, over the last 2 weeks. Hoosier, long pass near side, Vanderkolk. Filling the spot is McNeil, up to Hardy, but too far for Owen to get to. And it's a throw in near side for Indiana Wesleyan. Hudson Gongwer in for the Wildcats, replacing the goal scorer Duran. Big bash forward by Wes Williams. Wants to connect with Baldez. Hoosier takes it right away from him, but a whistle, and it's an offside called against Baldez. First offside against either team tonight. So 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Indiana Wesleyan on top 1-0 thanks to the first goal of the year by Jonas Duran. Fancy footwork from Hansen to elude Santa Croce. Santa Croce here tried to sidewind one forward, now does, playing it in deep. Onside is Indiana Wesleyan with Binkard, but he can't beat the ball to the end line. And a goal kick for Hansen upcoming here. And John Alzate will make his first appearance of the year. Sophomore out of Columbia. Hardy, near side Vanderkolk, poked away from him by Ibrahim, but off of Vanderkolk. And I will throw it in at the end of Taylor's bench with Nakamae. Flicked in deep, got to get to it to the Trojans. It'll go across the end line. Here's a corner for Indiana Wesleyan. They wanted to play it back to back to Hansen, but the pass was too strong, and it rolled out of play. So here's Hargraves from the near side corner, junior out of Manchester, England, transfer from Southern Wesleyan University. Both hands in the air from the near side corner. Big, hard right pass sent to the middle, knocked down still in the box. Leaping in the air as Vanderkolk out to free space on the far side. And it's Jackson Hoosier kicking this one out of play over some of the folks sitting on the grassy knoll across from us. Almost 10 minutes left to go here in the first half. A 1-0 lead for Indiana Wesleyan as they try to pick up their first Crossroads League win of the year. They also get their second win of the year as well. The Trojans in search of their first win, 0-4 coming in. Vanderkolk, a nice pass to the sprinting Owen Hardy. The fleet-footed kid out of West Chicago, Illinois. Fancy footwork gets him to the end line. His cross sent in, but Sherritt was there to snag it away on the bounce. IWU from right to left in red. They carry through the middle. Having to hit the brakes was Gongwer. Now he gets it on the left edge of the box as IWU shoots on the goal to our left. Thought about a cross. McNeil right there, slipping it on through the Binker. Tried to go back to Gongwer, but the pass too far out of Gongwer's reach, and that's an offside call. And here comes John Alzate, replacing Hardy. Ten shots for Taylor, 6 on goal. All 6 of Indiana Wesleyan shots have been on the frame tonight. They've gotten 1 past Hansen. That's the difference right now. McNeil to Alzate, who dances back to the defensive end and lays it off to Jackson Hoosier. Big right-footed bash, trying to connect with McBride. He's right there, knocks it down, but he can't get the inside position, shoved away by Wes Williams, the taller and bigger player. Melly from the defensive end for Indiana Wesleyan. Gallup heads it pinpointly to Webby Peary. Behind Vanderkolk, but McNeil right there for Taylor, sizing things up into space. Vanderkolk had checked up. And now Vanderkolk fighting for it and wins it back from Namakame. Alsate breaks free. Right edge. Back to Peary. Fakes, and now Peary with some room to work. Into space, too far. And this one goes out of play. Goal kick upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan. Far side and Melly. Pass off target. Gallup will take it to the defensive end. Tried to work it along to Murphy. He's shoved from behind away by Binkert, who takes the ball away from him. Blinkert splits two defenders, and then he and Murphy get tangled up. Murphy sent sprawling down to the turf. They'll stop the clock, and then they'll bring Brinkard and Braden Murphy together. Free kick far side for Indiana Wesleyan. Foul number 7 against Taylor here tonight as they trail 1-0 in the match. Hargraves far side. This one low, flicked into the box, then away by Vanderkolk's skull. And Taylor's fans pleading for a handball. Here comes Alsate trying to press it forward. Couldn't sweep it away from the Iwu defense of Nakamae. And McNeil throws it into Alsate. Steps in, was able to get Gongwer to move by. Now to McBride, trying to touch it in space, trying to turn the corner on Nakamae. Then Nakamae turns and plays it out on the near side. Taylor will throw it in with 7 minutes exactly left to go here in the first half, down by 1. McNeil will throw it back to Jackson Hoosier, who presses forward from the defensive end for TU. Pressure comes, trying to sidestep here, played too far out as the pressure was applied by Gongwer. Bjorn Helm will be allowed to check in for Indiana Wesleyan, and here he comes. He replaces whom? It'll be Lucas Melly. McNeil cuts off a pass with 6:15 remaining here in the opening stanza. From a rowdy Taylor fan base down below us. The Trojans, for all their possession time, that have come up empty-handed. They had to cut a flurry there about midway through the opening half. Vanderkolk with Ibrahim right on his back, able to dish it off to Harold. The Trojans came away empty. On a quick little spurt by Indiana Wesleyan, they got their first goal of the night. And they're ahead 1-0 right here. Helm. Connecting with Binkard. Binkard turns and skies one towards the near side. Good job by Alsate to come back. Lays it off to Hansen inside the box. Back to Alsate near sideline. Deep in Taylor's defensive end. Alsate, a soft touch. Taken down, and then Alsate pops back to his feet. Pass into the box. Laid back and cleared away by Gallup as Baldez tried to find a teammate wearing red. Throw in here near side Hargraves. Vanderkolk marking him. Ibrahim from long range, but that one sent high over the crossbar. Gallup. Big right boot deep. Paul McBride on side, but can he get the inside position on Helm? Play to the far side and out. And McBride will throw it in quickly to James McBride, but threw it behind him. Hargraves puts it back to the defensive half, right to Vanderkolk. Try to knock it down to James McBride. Ibrahim curled it away from trouble. Nice sweep on here by Indiana Wesleyan. They almost found Hargraves in stride. Then Hoosier got in his way, and the ball rolls out off of Taylor with 4:20 remaining here in the first half. I would throw it in across from us. Williams holding the attacking half for Indiana Wesleyan as they shoot on the goal to our left. Back to the far side, Hargraves played it into the area, able to have the ball come back down to his feet before McBride could take it away. Less than 4 to go in the opening half. Iowa with the ball. They lead 1-0. Williams just outside the center circle. As Iowa taking their time, trying to set something up here. Pass back to the middle. Slide as Vanderkoot tried to get in the way of Hargraves. Hargraves took it back momentarily as Valdez lays it back to Ibrahim. In the middle to Santa Croce. Turned over. Now Peary's got it with some room in front. Up to the far side to James McBride. Hits the brakes trying to elude Garrett Troop. Gallup to the middle of the field. Defensive half. And Jackson Hoosier for Taylor. Near sideline McNeil. Pressure comes. Up to Alsate. Back heel flick Vanderkolk. But too far for Alsate to get it back and do anything with. Hoosier using that big forehead to send it back to the Taylor offensive end for the time being. Murphy, his classmate, try to keep it moving forward. Then he and Murphy gets tangled up, and here's the foul against Santa Croce. He can't believe it, but he tackled and took Murphy down at the waist. If this is wrestling, that'd be a 2-point takedown, but it is men's soccer. Eighth foul against Indiana Wesleyan. Taylor was 7. With 2:15 remaining here in the first half. The free kick 5 yards inside midfield. They will call Hansen all the way forward. And he will take this free kick for the Trojans. As the Trojans look for the equalizing tally here late in half one. A lot of jostling going on at the top of this box. There's a lot of movement going on there. Now here's the whistle. Hansen measuring into the box. Knocked around, still loose. There's Hoosier in front, and Hoosier's first goal of his career ties the match at 1 with 1:44 left to go in the first half, and that sends the students into delirium down below us. The press box is shaking back and forth as the students jump up and down on the metal bleachers down below us. I need to find a seatbelt or something so we don't go rocketing away. It all started with Hansen's free kick, 5 yards inside midfield. It found the head of Gallup and maybe McNeil, and then Hoosier found a gift right at his feet. So with 94 seconds left, James McBride taken down. That's a foul against Indiana Wesleyan to their disagreement. 9th foul, and it's a card against Indiana Wesleyan. Looked to be number 3, Garrett Troop. First collegiate goal for the kid from Colorado with the last name of what they call folks from Indiana. With 86 seconds left, the match level at 1. Taylor in search of their first win of the season. Big bounce here. Paul McBride works into the middle. Here's a shot from Murphy, and it's in! The Trojans lead 2-1 as Murphy scores his first collegiate goal. And with 1:18 remaining in the first half, Murphy has got Turner Stadium coming apart at the seams. Long one sent in by Indiana Wesleyan. Hansen spotted and then fell down with his heels on the goal line. In the blink of an eye, the Trojans have taken the lead. They scored at the minute 44 mark. Now they got to get it out of their defense end with a minute left. It was Hoosier on the free kick from Hansen that pinballed around. And then more deflections. The ball found Braden Murphy's foot. And into the back of the net it goes. The two goals separated by less than 30 seconds. 26 seconds to be exact. Now with 43 seconds left, Indiana Wesleyan trying to tie it again. Gongworth shakes, it's blocked by McNeil, and here comes Hoosier trying to carry it from the back. He'll send this one deep with 33 seconds left to go in half one. Williams to the near side and Nakamae. Nakamae gliding forward. Pass intercepted by Hoosier with 18 seconds left. Alsate trying to get there, couldn't beat Williams. Williams' pass will be slide tackled away by Alsate. Here comes the big fellow rumbling in. It's Hargraves with 6 seconds left. Hargraves to the middle, nobody home. To the end line it goes with 2 and with 1. The Trojans fell behind by 1 with 13:42 left to go in the first half. And then 2 goals scored separated by 26 seconds of action. And the Trojans, first Hoosier and then Murphy. The 2 freshmen, a youth movement going on for the Trojans, has got them ahead 2-1 as we head to the second half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Your heart? Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 5 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $150, all the way up to the Trojan MVP level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
We left with cheering, we come back with cheering. Jude Johansson waving his hands, trying to rile the Taylor students up down below us. Jackson Hoosier and Braden Murphy have done plenty to get the Taylor faithful rowdy down tonight. 2-1, the Taylor lead. Goals coming 26 seconds apart from Jackson Hoosier, the assist from Joaquin Hansen, and then Paul McBride knocked it down, and then Braden Murphy drove her home. 11 shots in the opening half for TU, and 8 of them on goal. The two teams have switched sides, so the Trojans will go from right to left here in the second half. Indiana Wesleyan from left to right. Sherritt in the goal. Your goal scorers tonight: Duran for Indiana Wesleyan, and then Hoosier and Murphy, as we mentioned, for TU. Second half just underway. We're about 10 minutes in over there at Indiana Wesleyan. The Wildcats lead the Taylor women's soccer team 1-0. Here the Taylor men's soccer team ahead 2-1. Trying to get some position is Valdez. Lays it on back to Hargraves. Near side to Nakamae. Trying to get around Matipa. Does find some space, overran it, gets it back to the near side of the field. Pressing forward is Binkard. Thought about crossing. Partain right there on top, sends one to the backside, headed down, and now we're tied at 2. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, backside post, and that looks to be number 16, and that would be Jeremy Valdez. Actually make it Basara, who's on the backside. So now we're back to even at 2 apiece on Basara's first goal of the year. And Binkard should get the assist. And now we're level at 2. 1 minute and 18 seconds into this second half. If you like offense, this is the soccer match for you. As Taylor sends it all the way to the other end, Gilliam sprinted his heart out, couldn't get there in time. It'll be a goal kick here for Indiana Wesleyan, with us back to even at 2 apiece. Iwu in red with white numbers, and white numbers, the Trojans with the white uniforms and the purple numbers. Duran too far for him, and Taylor will throw it in far side with Jack McNeil. Gilliam trying to press forward, Partain applying pressure as Hargraves works it back to the defensive end and Melly. Ball sent high in the air, Peary
Knocks it down, and now McNeil's got it far side of the field for Taylor, about 5 yards inside midfield. Bowron turned. It was deflected away from him, played out off of Indiana Wesleyan, and Taylor will throw it in far side. McNeil looking to throw it in, was honored as one of the 8 seniors before tonight's match for the Trojans. McNeil looking for help. Someone's got to cut open, and they finally throws it into traffic. Partain turns. Big first step, then cleared away by Melly. As the Trojans shoot on the goal to our left. Bowron to throw it in for TU. Right edge of the box near the end line to Partain. Trying to play it back in, could not. It goes out of play, and it'll be a goal kick upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan. Aggressive play in the back by Matipa. And he gets whistled for the foul, and that draws the ire of the Taylor students. Matipa again, and now Matipa's going to get a card as he takes out Nakamae for the second time in the last handful of seconds. Second yellow against the Taylor player of the night, first one on Matipa. Melly looking for an outlet, finds one in Hargraves, but they move too quick. And the clock stops again at 41:34. Big boot from Melly all the way to the other end of the field. Leaping into the air, nicely done by Hoosier. Went up and over the man who tied the match, Basara. Matipa with some fancy work, lays it on back to Gallup. Accelerating, Gallup got around the first man and then passes up to the near side of Matipa. Matipa looking forward, his long pass cut down, nice header back to the middle by Binkard. Harold, soft pass intercepted by Hargraves, ahead of steam as he charges forward. Match tied at 2, they ran him into Gallup who stepped in, then he flicked it to the near side nicely away from trouble in the goal mouth. Harold dribbling out to the near side, it goes out as Iwu will throw it in, but nice defensive work by Gallup to keep it away from Hansen. Back up top, Durant had the first goal of the night for Indiana Wesleyan, trying to find some space, and McNeil throws a boot out to block it. On the ground to Hargraves as Iwu presses forward on the goal to our right. Back heel flick back to Hargraves, coming right down Main Street, and that one sails high over the crossbar, and a goal kick upcoming for Taylor. With their offense clicking here early in the second half. Tying the match less than 2 minutes in. 1 minute and 18 seconds to be exact. Iwu can't clear this, sent into the night sky. Partain tackled from behind, and now the Trojans will have a free kick, and this might be even worse as Partain down, rolling on the ground. He'll pop back to his feet after he's taken down from behind by Ibrahim. And here comes Partain to the near side, might have a cut on the side of his head. And Partain will jog to the near side of the field. You want Partain, you would love Partain to be able to take this free kick, but since he got hit in the head, he's going to come to the near sideline. And now Taylor head coach Gary Ross getting an explanation of what Partain can do here. This would be perfect for Partain's left foot on this free kick 2 yards outside midfield, 5 minutes into the first half. But Partain's got to jog back to midfield before he can re-enter. So it will either be Peary or Matipa. Matipa with no slouch of that left foot. The 2 goals for the Trojans tonight, both scored by freshmen. You got 2 freshmen right here. Matipa approaches, steps over it. And the whistle came before Matipa could go sprinting in. They'll bring Harold forward, and now McNeil will come back and fill the spot voided by Harold. Will Matipa run over it again, or will he drive it forward? It'll be Peary, left-footed on, and stopped by a diving Sherritt to the near side. Ovation from the Taylor students filling the grassy area across from us for Sherritt stop, number 6 on the night for him. And the match remains level at 2. As Partain back out there, Hardy will will come in for Taylor, replacing Brian Matipa. 2-2 our score. After Taylor scored 26 seconds apart in the first half, Hoosier and then Murphy. Then less than 2 minutes into this, minute and 18 here as Murphy gets called for the foul, trailing the play. It was Philip Bassara with the equalizing tally on his first goal of the year for Indiana Wesleyan. We're level at 2. IWU playing in just their second match of the year, first one in 2 weeks after a bunch of postponements with league teams in the last couple of weeks. Taylor in match number 5 this year, still in search of that first win as they sit at 0-4. Big throw in here. Hoosier trying to get the inside position. Nice swim move from Bassara. Has a step on Hoosier who takes him down from behind. Play on is called. Hansen tried to jump on top of it. The goal's wide open. Peary comes in, and here's good help from Bowron as being spun around like a top was Parker Stewart for Indiana Wesleyan as IWU begs for a penalty kick and a foul against Hoosier that will not come. And now Hardy flicks it in the middle. Killian was coming in. Sherritt almost comes off the goal. This ball kicked to the end line. It was off of who? We all look at the referee across from us and they'll say last touch by Gilliam, and Cole yells at that official in disbelief and bewilderment. As someone had a sound effect go off down below us that might not have been the right sound effect, but it was nicely timed either way. Sherritt, a high goal kick to the center circle. Headed back to the attacking half by Murphy. Nice read by Melly to get his head on it. Back flick, Hoosier knocks the ball down with his forehead. Now Bassara and Duran try to do work. Duran slips through, his pass deflected before it can get to Bassara. Murphy will flick it forward onto Partain. Runs away from pressure from behind. Partain with a head of steam coming up the near side of the field. To Hardy, played it back behind Partain. And now Stewart will come to the near side of the field and Binkard for Indiana Wesleyan. Pass deflected out off of either Hardy or Partain. And Hargraves will throw it in near side, or actually Hargraves will throw it in. Gallup tried to play it off of the IWU player. And went off the hand of Cade Binkard. And so Gallup will have a free kick after the handball. Gallup right hand in the air, now drives one through the air. Ibrahim heads to the middle. Peary looking over his head, trying to find it, chesting it down into space. And then Peary will knock it back to Gallup, waving Hardy near, and Hardy fills the empty space and makes a pinpoint pass from Gallup. Hardy tried to slip it on. Thought Gilliam was right there. It rolls out of play, and that's one that Hardy would want back. Ibrahim to Williams. Gilliam pressuring him from behind. Far side of the field to Isaiah Klein. Good to see 14 in red back out there after having a hand injury back in the first half. Gallup to Hoosier on the far side of the field. Taylor trying to bring it out of the defensive half. 9 minutes gone here in the second half so far. Indiana Wesleyan has tied the match at 2, with a goal coming a minute and 18 seconds into the second stanza. Gallup across the midline. Partain pushed from behind, then taken down from behind, and a foul called there. Foul number 10 against Indiana Wesleyan. The Trojans already sit at 10 fouls to their name as well. Partain from the near side of the field in front of his own bench. As Hoosier will jog in from the defensive end for TU. Backing up is Binkard, giving Partain the appropriate amount of space. Partain getting encouragement from the Taylor students in the bleachers down below us. Spirit fingers in the air from the TU faithful. Partain saunters forward.
Headed around, now into the box. Gallo trying to be onside, sends it on to the goals. Up and over the crossbar. Was it deflected by an Iowa player? It was not. Gallup cleanly kicked it out as the Iowa defenders continue to look to that far side official, begging for an offside flag. Even though they'll get the possession back right here on a goal kick. 34.5 minutes remaining here in the second half. 2-2 between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. A big 3 points on the line for both teams. First league match for Indiana Wesleyan, and Taylor still in search of that first win of 2020. Long pass cut down by McNeil in the middle of the field as the Wildcats tried to find Duran on the far side of the play. Turnover in the middle of the field. Hargraves dancing forward, a couple step over moves. Will flick it to the far side. Basara, left edge of the box, thinks about crossing. McNeil marking him, who blocks this one. Leaping into the air as Harold couldn't knock it down, still loose in the box before Hoosier turns and bashes out a play across from us. Duran throws it in far side to Klein, who came sprinting in, overran the ball. Bowron comes in and boots this one well away from his own goal. He'll be held in on the far sideline by Wes Williams. Hardy applies pressure. Ibrahim danced away from him, but Peary knocked down the pass. Bowron tried to work up to Peary. Big bounce back. McNeil swings and misses with that left foot, and now here comes Basara trying to get around Hoosier. Big play in. Basara falls, and Hoosier gets whistled for the foul. Foul number 11 against Taylor here tonight. And a dangerous set piece upcoming here for Indiana Wesleyan on the far edge of the box as they shoot on the goal to our right. 33:05 and counting here in the second half. 2-2 our score. Hargraves looks to be standing over there for Indiana Wesleyan. That might be Garrett Troop over there, not sure. There are two Iowa players on the far side. Free kick played in. Hansen snags it on the try there by Hargraves. Fifth save for Hansen tonight, and the match remains tied at 2. Sidewinding kick from Hansen, who has already got an assist tonight. Bowron collides, but they're going to call the foul against Bowron as he stuck his leg out, collided with Klein, and Klein got the worst of it. Free kick from the defensive end for Indiana Wesleyan. And they'll set things up from the defensive half. Good footwork here from Duran. Partain almost took it away, then a miss kick here by Indiana Wesleyan and Stewart. So Taylor takes the ball right back just near midfield. This one's sent all the way to the far corner. Bowron will have to hustle to get after it. In a foot race with Klein, who boxes out Bowron. And a goal kick upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan and Nathan Sherritt. Shots to 10 in favor of Taylor, almost identical in shots on goal, 9-8 for TU. 7 saves aside for each keeper tonight. And also both have allowed 2 goals tonight. Partain near sideline, jostling for position with Nakamae. The Nakamae takes Partain down, and it's a foul against the young man from Fishers. Partain was ready for the quick restart. Binkard was standing right in front of him. Now Binkard has some words for Partain, who didn't like it as he tries to add his opinion to the official. And Taylor head coach Gary Ross getting an explanation. Almost 30 minutes left to go here in the second half. 2-2. Set piece near side. Partain, left hand on his hip. Left hand into the air and left foot into the ball. Curls it in, headed away by Indiana Wesleyan. Trying to connect with Duran, who's right there. Bound right there to mark, up to Basara. And Basara offside near side. Offside by just a step when the ball was played. And a free kick for Taylor 10 yards outside midfield. McNeil stands over this one on the far side of the field. Short pass to Peary, back to McNeil, and up to Peary across the midline. Peary lays it back, right edge to Harold. Very few sophomores or juniors on the field right now. It's just Partain and Hardy, the two juniors out there for TU. Everyone else is either a freshman or a senior. Partain tried to get it. Did he go off of his elbow? It did, and I will have a throw in near side with Binkert. Nakamai throws it in near side to Stewart. Back to Nakamai with Hardy right there to pounce. Gilliam was there to try to take it away, but a nice pass back to the keeper, Sherritt. 29 minutes and counting left to go here in the second half. 2-2 our score. Both teams in search of their first Crossroads League win of the year. Taylor in search of their first win of the year, period. Ibrahim, long pass far side to Duran. And the first goal of the night for Indiana Wesleyan. Works it along left side of the box to Klein. Klein centering to the top, and that one kicked away by Murphy, the only one home on that pass. Ibrahim measuring left edge of the field. Back to the near side, trying to cut in from the weak side is Binkert. Has it here, Partain marking him, right edge of the box. Binkert lays it back to Nakamai with Gallup marking him. Near sideline pass. Binkert knocked down by the face of Alex Gallup. Partain takes a spill as he collides with Binkert again. Then this one taken away by Hardy. Hardy running near side, was tugged upon by Stewart. Gilliam can't get there in time before Stewart lays it on back to the speedy Lucas Melly. Williams gets this pass away. Good bump by McNeil, but a better receive there by Jonas Duran. No look pass to the middle of the field, and now Iwu will set it up with Stewart and then back to Melly. Ibrahim turns and sends one to the far side of the field, and Klein chesting it down and then left footing it forward to Duran. Two subs ready to come in for Taylor, and James McBride now make it 3 as Paul McBride joins the fun, along with Vanderkolk. McNeil fighting for position with Klein. Ball still loose, and Iwu keeps the possession with Duran. Back to Klein, left sideline. Iwu shoots on the goal to our right. Peary steps in front, takes away from Ibrahim. Slide tackle will just stink its way to Hargraves as Peary was ready to scoop it up with a head of steam. Near side, Basara. Harold right there on his hip. Basara's pass intercepted by Hardy. Will flick it forward to Partain. Partain turns and boxes out Nakamai. Hardy was lurking as Nakamai was down on the offensive end. Now it's Hoosier rushing forward and dealing it off to Murphy. The 2 goal scores tonight for the Trojans. And their first collegiate goals. Their first matchup with Indiana Wesleyan for the freshmen. Quinn Partain steps in front, deflects it off to Gilliam. Near side to Hardy. 26-27 remaining second half. Taylor and Iwu tied at 2. Here's Hardy dancing with it. Gets back to his right foot. Hardy lets one go, and Sherritt stopped it as Hardy was looking for a second highlight reel goal in as many weeks. Hardy asked his defender, "May I have this dance?" and almost gave Taylor the lead back as we approach 26 minutes remaining here in half 2. And here come the McBrides along with Vanderkolk in for TU to replace Hardy, Murphy, and Gilliam. Press box shaking again with the Taylor students jumping up and down in the bleachers. Good read by Melly to get in front of the throw and almost knocked it out of play, but Peary scoops up the loose change across from us. Peary up to Bowron. Ball overran by Peary by a step, and I will try to get it out of tight quarters. Still loose on the far side of the field, and now it's picked up by James McBride as he and Ibrahim both lean on each other. Somehow McBride flipped it to himself, tried to dink it on near side to Partain, but a good challenge by Nakamae. And here comes Iwu the other way. Basara onside by a step. Hoosier trying to chase him down from behind. Basara getting to the end line, trying to turn the corner. Sliding stop by Hoosier. It goes across the end line. It'll be an Iwu corner from the near side. It'll be just their second corner kick of the night. And it'll come as we just passed 20 minutes gone here in the second half. They'll play a short one to the near side. Back to Hargraves, right edge of the box, flicks it in. Hanson Reeds trying to punch it away, loose backside. Hoosier trying to get rid of it as Duran's right there to the end line. They both jostle for position. And it'll be Duran stepping in away from Hoosier. It'll be a throw-in in the far corner for Indiana Wesleyan. As they try to go back in front for the second time tonight. They led 1-0, and then the Trojans scored goals separated by 26 seconds. A long flick in here, backside, nobody home except Quinn Partain. He'll watch this one bounce out of play across the end line. So a goal kick for Joaquin Hansen. I'll give the Taylor men, male students down below us, not wearing any shirts. They have stuck with it, even though the temperatures have dropped here since the sun went down. Long try from Gallup. Wanted to connect with Paul McBride, who assisted on the second goal for Taylor tonight. Peary trying to get in here. Went off of whom? Out of play near side, off of Indiana Wesleyan. Harold directing traffic where he wants to throw it in. Peary was there, but now he'll change his mind, and Harold will hold the ball on his right hip. And Alzate will come in for TU, so Gallup will throw it in. Alzate comes in to spell Partain. Gallup measuring and flings it in here to Paul McBride. Knife down out of play by Melly. Taylor will throw it in along the near sideline. Gallup jogging in like he's going to play it. Binkard said, well, if no one wants to take it, I'll throw it in, but it's a Taylor throw-in, and Alzate jogs to throw it in near side. Taylor shooting it on the goal to our left. They scored 2 goals late in the first half to go up 2-1 at the break. Iowa scored early in the second half, and that's how we're level at 2. Hoosier jogs into the box. Alzate to throw it in here, sophomore out of Chile. Taylor trying to head it on back. Nobody there. Vanderkolk back to the near side. Hoosier trying to track it over his shoulder. And then Binkard plays it back up the near side with Ibrahim. Tried to play it around, but McBride stepped in front of him. Gallup deflected the pass down. McNeil comes back in, but couldn't play it forward as it was intercepted by Binkard. Fancy footwork by Webby Peary to elude Binkard. Near side, Alzate with the match tied at 2. Alzate near side, James McBride sprinting, but he can't get there in time as it rolls out of place. Goal kick upcoming for Indiana Wesleyan. Alzate using his head, getting that one out of play. 14 shots to 11 in favor of Taylor. Vanderkolk couldn't keep it going in Taylor's favor. Hargraves all the way to the far side, and Duran. Duran hits the brakes. That allows Bowron to get into position. Kicks it out of play with his left foot. Iowa in red, shooting on the goal to our right. Taylor defends in white with purple sleeves. On senior night for the Trojans against their cross-county rival. Nakamai tried to slalom through 2 different players, lost the ball. Long pass to Gallup, and then near side to Alzate as he lets the ball roll to him. Big pass forward to Paul McBride, behind him to the middle. And nobody home in white. An easy play for Wes Williams, back to his keeper, Sherritt. Dangerous pass, but finds Ibrahim's feet. Stewart step across the midline and press it forward for Indiana Wesleyan. Near side to Binkard. Gallup marking him as Binkard moves in. A couple step over moves. Slide by Gallup. Pass to the top and Hargraves. Back near side Stewart. Right corner of the box. Trying to get around Vanderkolk. Crossing to the backside. McNeil tried to sweep it away. Still loose. Duran coming in. Couldn't let a shot go. Gets it down to Binkard, who's in tight quarters. Peary got his foot on the pass, but Duran able to get it back. Sends a rising shot wide to the far side post. And time is called as Matt Harold slow to get to his feet for Taylor. We'll take a break. 20 minutes and 4 seconds remaining here in the second half, and here comes the athletic training staff. We'll take a break. Taylor and Iowa tied at 2.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Special thanks to Josh Fenwick on the camera tonight. Katie Suits running the computer. Our producer extraordinaire, the executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network, is, as always, Cameron Andrew. So Matt Harrell, the injured Trojan, was able to walk off with a little bit of help as we dip below 20 minutes remaining here in the second half, and the match tied at 2. Long pass, he wanted to find James McBride. It bounced over his head, and an easy header by Nakamai to back to his keeper, Sherritt. But positive encouragement from Taylor head coach Gary Ross, like the long pass to the dangerous McBride. J. McBride and P. McBride both playing up top for TU. As Sherritt dribbling the ball forward 10 yards outside the box. The keeper bashes one deep. Gallup cuts in front and heads one to the sky. Flicked on by Vanderkolk. Hardy wants to throw his head in the mix too and knocks it down to Peary. Alsate near side of the field. 2-2 between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. 19-12 left to go here in half number 2. Hoosier. Long one goes over P. McBride's head into the box, and Sherritt makes easy work of that, scooping it up with no challenge. Quickly rolls it out to Melly. Up to Ibrahim, and then back to Melly just outside the box to our left. Knocked down Gallup, missing the header was Giuseppe Santacroce. Santacroce gets it back, able to tow it forward to Hargraves. Pressure from behind, ball comes free, and it's Bowron. Pass too much for Paul McBride, and this one goes all the way back to Sherritt, the keeper for Indiana Wesleyan. Gilliam steps in front of a pass here for the Trojans. Got it off to Peary, then back to Vanderkolk. Side steps away from Gongwer. Vanderkolk pushed off by Ibrahim. A slide from Vanderkolk. Can't keep it moving in Taylor's favor, and Vanderkolk will get a card here. His first match of the season. They'll say he went for the body, not the ball. The ball was already gone when Vanderkolk made contact with Parker Stewart across from us. That's the third yellow against a Taylor player tonight. And the clock stops with 18:10 remaining here in the second half. Braden Murphy and Cole Gilliam ready to come back in for TU. Same thing for Jeremy Valdez of Indiana Wesleyan. Moving forward, Melly, who's been very active defensively, starting things for Indiana Wesleyan. Peary right there for Taylor, tried to play it around Klein. It was too much as it went out of play. And subs coming in for both sides. Troop and Valdez in for Indiana Wesleyan. Nakamai out along with Basara. Gilliam, Murphy in for the Trojans. Vanderkolk and Bowron get a breather. Vanderkolk had a couple words for our lead official about the card he got a couple minutes ago. Vanderkolk still upset about it, as he shares his displeasure with his teammates down below us. It's great to see 13 and white back out there for TU for the first time this season. And now the Taylor students are spelling again. I missed it, I'm sorry. Peary, who's been very active tonight for Taylor. Off to Murphy, his classmate, stepping in front and poking it away is Binkard. Binkard can't get away from the big slide of the beautiful ponytail of Alex Gallup. Hardy dancing with it, then hits the brakes and passes it off to Gilliam near side. Cole looking deep. Melly Heads it back, poked away by Ibrahim before James McBride could get to it. Paul McBride tried to play it off of the defender. Taylor can't believe it. It'll be an IWU throw-in. Hargraves will turn and send it to the far side, and Klein bounces over his head, but nobody there. Klein's got to beat the ball to the sideline, and he does, just tiptoeing across from us. Long one to Valdez. This passed in deep. Hoosier right there for TU. Comley plays it back to his keeper, Hansen. The ball has been on this side of the field very rarely here in the second half, as Gallup sends it to the other end. Melly, racing back. James McBride back on his hip. Melly turns and clears it up to the near side before it could go across the end line. Less than 16 minutes remaining here in the second half. Quinn Partain will come in to get John Alsate for TU. Gilliam to throw it in as Gallup gets a swig of Gatorade down below us. That might be fruit punch, a delicious flavor. Left edge of the box, Jay McBride trying to turn, double team there, trying to split through. Ibrahim will shove him off of his path. Gilliam trying to come and win it back. McBride somehow tornadoed it away from Indiana Wesleyan. Hardy in the middle of the field, no one in his area code. Goes far side to his high school teammate, Quinn Partain. Partain forward to the corner. Murphy trying to get there before it hits the end line, hits the brakes, keeps it in play. Then he turns and bashes it right off the defender out of play. Giuseppe Santacroce beside himself as that ball trampolined off of his knees and right out across the end line. Third corner of the night for the Trojans, and Partain can play it in with his left foot. 2-2, less than 15 minutes remaining in regulation. Partain, a low in-swinger right into the sea of red. Back to the far side, and Partain couldn't get there before it was poked around him by Williams, who chested the initial corner away. And a foul on the back end against Indiana Wesleyan. It was Valdez who tried to horse collar Owen Hardy. So the free kick right from midfield as we inch closer to 14 minutes remaining in half two, with the match level at 2 between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. Taylor will set it up from the defensive end with Gallup. A long pass near side to his fellow captain Cole Gilliam. Peary, man behind, trying to spin away. Lays it back to Gallup. Good pressure applied by Valdez. Hoosier back to Hansen inside the penalty area. And Hansen rockets one far side. Partain trying to track it. Gets his chest in front and lays it back to McNeil, who runs through a challenge from behind. Clips Ibrahim. Partain tried to sweep it forward, but the ball got caught between his feet. And now it's Klein trying to carry from the back for Indiana Wesleyan. And then he and McNeil go tumbling down across from us. The ball goes out of play, and Indiana Wesleyan has a throw, and is everybody looking for a foul against their opponent. Yuto Nakamai enters for Indiana Wesleyan, and Jonas Duran back in as well for the Wildcats. Klein exits for IWU. 13:09 and counting here in the second half of a good one here from Turner Stadium. 2-2 between Taylor and Indiana Wesleyan. 14 shots for the Trojans, 12 for Indiana Wesleyan, 10 on goal for Taylor, 9 as Klein, who has won the hearts of the Taylor students down below us after his hand injury in the first half, has been cheered every time he's come on or off the field tonight. Hargraves flicks one forward. Left side of the field, IWU carrying in a long shot, and this one sails wide of the near side post. That was Hudson Gongwer trying to dial it up from long distance across from us. Shot number 13 for Indiana Wesleyan tonight. 12:20 remaining here in half two. Taylor from right to left in white, Indiana Wesleyan in red. McNeil to Partain, couldn't get to him in time as Hargraves finds a loose ball and bashes it in towards Santacroce. Filling far side. Left edge, cross back. Gallup clicks his heels and gets it out of play. It goes across the end line, but he stepped in front of the hard-charging Valdez. So a corner far side here for Indiana Wesleyan. Hargraves will set it up. He can
Playing in-swinger here with his right foot. Far side corner, match tied at 2. This one towards the middle, punched away by Hansen. Out to no man's land, Partain, foot race, trying to get the edge, shoves his man down, and Partain comes away with the ball. Nicely done by Quinn. Ibrahim takes Hardy down, and now Iowa tries to keep it pressing forward with Santa Croce. And a foul against Hardy as he got tangled up with Santa Croce. And a free kick will be coming up for Indiana Wesleyan on the left sideline. Matt Harold back and ready to go. They'll check into the next chance. Hargraves sets up for this free kick across from us. Matipa coming to the midline as well for TU. Less than 11 minutes remaining in regulation time. 2-2. Now the clock will stop. As Hargraves was ready to take the free kick, then walked away. And now Partain is going to be walked back a couple of steps here by our lead official. Now the whistle comes. Hargraves plays it into the box. Dancing through. Gallup heads away from trouble. Taylor still trying to get it away. There was a collision there, and it goes to the top of the net. And a goal for Indiana Wesleyan. Lucas Melly scores. And now he's going to run towards the Iowa students across from us. They were looking for a foul as one of the Iowa players was taken down. Melly was right there and kicked it to the top of the goal. And Iowa's taking a 3-2 lead with 10:48 remaining here in the second half. In those scrums, it can be hard to figure out who scores. You look for who celebrated the hardest, and Melly was shot out of a cannon running to go celebrate with the students that have filled the grassy area across from us. Ran away from all of his teammates and was ready to go party with the folks that had made the short drive from Marion. So Taylor finds themselves down again by 1, just like they were in the first half. But they've got 10 minutes and 40 seconds left to try to pick up and equalize the game at 3. Harold is re-entered along with Matipa. Ball knocked out, went off of Harold's feet. And I will throw it in near midfield with Troop. Hargraves knocks it down. And turning and heading forward will be Gongwer. Near side to Duran, first goal scorer of the night for Indiana Wesleyan. Gongwer moving to his left, thought about a long shot. Matipa right there to mark, trying to re-engage. Matipa knocked away. Gongwer lets a rocket go, and he pulled it to the near side post as he had a sliver of space. Make that Duran on his third shot. Binkard re-enters for Indiana Wesleyan, replacing Gongwer. Less than 10 to go here in the second half. Taylor has got to start getting some opportunities here. They led 2-1 at halftime, then a goal quickly at the start of the second half. Tied the match at 2, and now Melly's first goal of the season has put Iowa back in front 3-2. Murphy off the back of his head. This one skied into the air by the Indiana Wesleyan defense. Men looking to the air, trying to find the ball. Matipa swept it deep, and Sherritt able to stop it on the end line. Matipa jogs and forces Sherritt to pick it up. Roll out near side as Melly, who has the go-ahead goal right now, will send this one all the way to the other end of the field. Less than 9 to go. Gallup shoved out in the back, comes up looking for a whistle. That will not come. Hoosier, long ball in. Gilliam tried to save it, did for a moment, then it's sent skyward by Indiana Wesleyan and Garrett Troop. Murphy trying to hold position. Peary comes back. Now everybody falling down, and they're going to let everybody play here in the final 8:35. James McBride shoved down from behind, and now the foul comes against Ibrahim. McBride took a forearm to the shoulder blades as Hargraves plays keep away here with 8:25 and counting here in the second half. Duran standing right in front of the ball, being asked to move away by our lead official. Hansen came up thought about playing the free kick that's 15 yards inside midfield. Murphy will play it towards the back line. Sherritt came flying and soaring and snagging that one in traffic. And now everyone will retreat back to the midline as we dip below 8 minutes remaining in the second half.
Sherritt, a low goal kick. Murphy heads it right up the near side of the field. As two players get tangled up, that was Troop and James McBride. And it'll be a throw-in near side for Indiana Wesleyan as Parker Stewart comes back in for the Wildcats, replacing Santa Croce. Less than 7.5 minutes remaining in regulation. Iwu just trying to take as much time as possible to clock their friend right now. Gallup ushers Duran down to the turf and takes the ball away. James McBride, Taylor's fans trying to get a foul called. McBride lost it and it goes out in front of the Iwu bench. The Wildcats will throw it in. McLean Hastings in for the first time. And now there's just all kinds of confusion down below us as Duran is being taken out in favor of Hastings. Iwu bleeding clock here. They've taken about 15 seconds off the clock. As we close in on 6.5 minutes, now they're going to stop the clock. Iwu taking too much time, and now the ball thrown in. Bouncing around with Stewart. To Hargraves in the middle. Far side to Nakamai. He misplayed it, it rolls out. 6.5 minutes remaining in this one. Taylor sprinting to get into position. Down 3-2. Long throw in here to Matipa. Back to Partain, can't get through the tackle of Binkard, and a foul called against Binkard. 6:18 and counting in the second half. And it'll be Hoosier jogging in, and then he'll be waved off as Hansen wants to take this one. Joaquin with an assist already down on Taylor's first goal. Can he get one here that would tie? Can he get another assist that would tie the match for a second time tonight in favor of Taylor? Less than 6 minutes remaining in this one. Taylor down 3-2. Spirit fingers in the air. Hansen signals those light blue gloves. And he sends this one in. To the box it goes. Headed on towards the goal. There are a couple different players there still loose near side. Gilliam heads it back in. Sherritt has it. And getting up off the turf was Quinn Partain. And now there is pushing and shoving going on down to our left. They'll stop the clock with 5:36. These two teams have been playing hard all night. And Sherritt, the keeper for Indiana Wesleyan, is getting the worse for wear right now. Was slow to get to his feet, but pops back up. And now there are multiple folks being pulled to get a yellow card. Harold gets it for Taylor, and it looks like Melly is going to get it for Indiana Wesleyan. Fourth yellow card issued to a Taylor player tonight. Second one issued to an Indiana Wesleyan player. Clock is stopped with 5:36 remaining in the second half, and now there's some more talking going on between Gilliam and Melly. There's a player down for Indiana Wesleyan getting stretched out. We'll take a break. 5:36 left to go in this one. Indiana Wesleyan leads Taylor by 1, 3-2.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online Tire Finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's going to be Cade Binkard who's helped to his feet, favoring that right leg. Was able to walk with a little bit of weight on that foot. Or that leg, I should say. 5:36 left to go in this one. The physicality has been ramped up in a big way here in the last few minutes. Now Taylor trying to press and tie the game for a second time tonight in their favor. The clock is their enemy here. Matipa in the middle. Pressure all around him, dancing away. Pressure came from behind with Stewart. Matipa still kept the possession and plays it back to Gallup. Matipa tried to work it on, flicked away from him by Gongwer. Out to the near side, last touch by Taylor. Iwu's got a throw in as we approach 5 minutes remaining here in half two. And Troop will throw it in near sideline. Right to Taylor's Alex Gallup. Gallup steps in off a defender's foot. Murphy to Peary. McNeil deflected off the head of Baldez. And then a slick move by McNeil. Taylor trying to press it forward. Murphy took a big bounce off of his right boot. And it goes out off the far sideline with 4:40 and counting here in the second half, and Taylor trailing by 1. Melly's first goal of the year. The difference right now for Indiana Wesleyan. Turning and sending up the far side. McNeil lost his footing. They'll say it went cleanly off of Jack's foot. As Owen Hardy comes back to check in. Taylor tries to get one last push here. As we approach 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Hoosier up to Peary for Taylor. Partain maneuvering with it. Back to McNeil. His pass blocked. Nicely done by Baldez. Hardy trying to come in. And a sub comes in for Owen Hardy. He'll come in and get Murphy, who gave Taylor the lead at 2-1 late in the first half. 3:50 and counting here in half two. McNeil's got to throw it in from the far side of the field in the defensive half. Up to Matipa, who knocks it down. Runs through 2 challenges. And then back to the center circle is classmate Matt Harold. Harold left foots one to the near side and Paul McBride. 3:30 and counting second half. Up to Matipa. Maneuvering to his right. Defenders all around him. Finds Peary trailing. Peary to the near side. Try to flick it in, but too far for Paul McBride to get to. Kicked into the air. And this one will land out of play for a Taylor throw-in. Gallup looking for a ball to throw in, and he will with 3:15 remaining in the second half. Gallup trying to find someone to throw it to. He'll throw it into less than 3 minutes remaining in the second half, and Taylor down by 1. Throws it into the box. Gilliam flicks it on, still loose. McNeil right there trying to kick it in before Sherritt falls on it. Then he and McNeil have a little words for each other. With 2:40 left to go in this one. Philip Bassar ready to come back in at the next chance for Indiana Wesleyan. Sherritt screams one forward on the goal kick. Gallup back in. Partain trying to track it. Hardy trying to track it there too. Knocked back to Matipa, who dribbles forward, lets one go, and that one just sails over the crossbar with 2:14 remaining in the second half. The clock will stop with 2:09 remaining in this one. Bassara back in for Indiana Wesleyan. They're trying to throw more guys back defensively as Matipa got free again from long range, just like he did on Wednesday. But sadly, it was the same result as Wednesday as that right-footed rocket went sailing over the crossbar. Nakamai exits for Indiana Wesleyan. And here comes the keeper, Sherritt. Only one there is Harold. Knocks it down inside the center circle, but nobody in white there to pick up the loose change. Gongwer trying to get away from Paul McBride. Nice stop and start move from Gongwer, but Paul McBride steps in front. Ball rolls out. Gallup to throw it in with 1:54 remaining in the second half, and Taylor trailing by 1. Ball goes out, and Gallup will throw it in near side just shy of midfield. Throws it back to Jackson Hoosier. With 1:40 left to go in this one. He'll send one forward as Taylor tries to circle underneath. Headed down to the far side. It'll be McNeil chasing on it with 93 seconds left off of Indiana Wesleyan for a Taylor throw-in. Trojans down by 1, trying to get their first win of the year. Matipa into Partain. Far side McNeil. Was it too far for him to get to? No. Jack gets back on top of it, deflects it out of play, and Taylor will throw it in with 77 seconds left to go in the second half, trailing by 1. Burning time here as they'll let McNeil throw it in with 70 seconds left. Into the box. Headed into the air by Indiana Wesleyan. They try to clear. They send it back up towards midfield in the field of play.
Hoosier trying to body his way forward. Peary there. Plays it back towards the goal to our left. Less than a minute to go in this one. 55 seconds as this one sent skyward by Indiana Wesleyan. Harold tracking it to the near side with Taylor trailing by 1. It bounced off of his elbow, and the call comes on the near side. And with 45 seconds left, Indiana Wesleyan is going to try to kill as much time as possible. Hardy's not going to let him do it as he runs forward. He'll place the ball right where it needs to be. And trying to kill clock here is Bassara trying to tie his shoe. The clock will stop with 31.9 seconds left, as Peary offered to come over and help Bassara tie that boot. Hargraves, he'll take the free kick. But barely anyone forward for Indiana Wesleyan. They know they've got to pack it in defensively. Ball placed just in front of the IWU bench down below us. They lead 3-2 with 31 9/10 of a second left. Try to play to the near side corner in Bassara. Bassara takes Hoosier down on a tug. And with 25 seconds left, Taylor's got to set things up quickly. As Bassara again keeps checking his gear, trying to burn more clock. Hansen waves everybody forward. He just right foots one up with 13 seconds left. Kicked out by Indiana Wesleyan's Gongwa. 10 seconds left. They've got to go quick to the Trojans. Gilliam throws it in with 6 to the box with Partain. Into the air near side with 3 and with 2. And Iowa will come back and win tonight by a final of 3-2. As Duran has some words for the Taylor students down below us as he blows them kisses. Iowa wins tonight by a final of 3-2. Taylor played so well tonight, but just could not get some bounces to come their way. We'll take a break and come right back. Actually, let's just keep it here and we'll wrap it up. 14 shots apiece, 10 shots on goal apiece tonight. 15 fouls for Taylor, 12 for Indiana Wesleyan. There were 6 cards issued between the two teams tonight. Taylor led 2-1 going to the break. First time that they've led at the half all season. And the second time they've led all year as well after McNeil scored first on Wednesday. They led 2-1 at the break. But then a goal early in the second half for Indiana Wesleyan by Philip Bassara tied the match in 2, and then it was Lucas Mele getting the ball out of a scrum and sending it to the top shelf to give Iowa a 3-2 lead with 10:48 left. Taylor had a couple of opportunities late, just could not find the equalizer. And the Wildcats improved to 2-0 on the year. Taylor falls to 0-5 and 0-4 in the Crossroads League. They're back in action on Wednesday at Mount Vernon Nazarene. Excuse me, let me change that. Let me just take a look here, see where the Trojans are coming up. I believe they're on the road on Wednesday, wherever that may be. Taylor did everything right tonight, just could not find the winning tally this evening. A tough one for the boys to take. We wish them the best of luck coming up with their match this week. That'll be Wednesday night. As we let the schedule load right here. They'll be at St. Francis on Wednesday night. Best of luck, boys, then. They'll try to pick up that first win of the year. Final score tonight here from Turner Stadium. Indiana Wesleyan defeats Taylor 3-2 on the goal by Lucas Mele. The difference here tonight. The Trojans fall to 0-5 on the year. Iowa improves to 2-0. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Soccer on the Trojan Sports Network. We say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.